9 out of 10 millennials do not trust banks. The value of money relies on trust. Government debt is higher than it's ever been before. Central banks continue to print money. Fortunately, the world has a new solution. Experts predict in 7 years, 10% of the world's economy will be in crypto-based assets. Today, 1 billion people have access to the financial industry. Crypto is about empowering the other 6 billion people by banking the unbanked. Do not underestimate this. Do you wish you invested in Google, Amazon, or Netflix before anyone ever knew about them? $1,000 invested in Netflix turned to over $500,000. At Token Metrics, we help you find the next Netflix. Token Metrics users think differently about investing. They are early adopters looking for financial freedom. They are people who see a better world. A world without international borders. We believe in a world where everyone has access to the next financial revolution. At Token Metrics, we are creating a bridge that gets you to that revolution. We will help you make sound investments in this new world. The world's best investors do not rely on their intuition. They embrace technology and AI to invest. Token Metrics uses AI to find invisible patterns in data to help you invest and trade in crypto. In the past, we have used our data-driven system to achieve financial freedom. Now, we are giving you the keys. We created Token Metrics to be the only platform you'll ever need to make money in crypto. We give you AI and access to crypto experts at the best price. The moon is not the limit. To the moon and beyond.
Disclaimer. Token Metrics Media LLC does not provide individually tailored investment advice and does not take a subscriber's or anyone's personal circumstance into consideration when discussing investments, nor is it registered as an investment advisor or broker-dealer in any jurisdiction. Information contained herein is not an offer or solicitation to buy, hold, or sell any security. The Token Metrics team has advised and invested in many blockchain companies. A complete list of their advisory roles and current holdings can be viewed here at tokenmetrics.com/disclosures.
All right. What's up, everybody? Overtime session. Apologies, took longer than expected. Had to have some dinner and everything and make sure I was ready to do a deep dive. Because in times like this, I know you guys definitely want to have as much insight as possible on what to do in times like this, right? So this is going out to everywhere, to YouTube, Twitter, Periscope, Instagram. We're going to do a deep dive session into crypto value investing 101. And as the title of the stream says, actually, let me see if I have the right title. As the title of the stream says, how to make millions in crypto during a crash. Yes, in times like this, during a crash. I'll go through and share my story and how I'm viewing the market and how we can make the next millions and hopefully billions in crypto in times like this. So Crypto Value Investing 101. For those on Instagram, you can follow along on my desktop by going to youtube.com/tokenmetrics. But yeah, so just give me a few seconds here to get things situated. And I will be also answering your questions as well. Yes, my Paris Crypto, we're talking about value investing, right? So I'll go through and define what value investing is, and then I'll define how we apply it towards crypto investing. And then I'll go through how we've literally made millions off of it in the past, even in this market cycle, and then go through how we can do the same thing repeatedly in future market cycles. All right, so hopefully you like that. If you haven't yet joined, I highly encourage you to become a customer at tokenmetrics.com. We do this for a living, full time, with our daily newsletter, daily videos on TMTV that we just launched this month, and also with our software using machine learning and AI to help you value invest, but also trade as well in cryptocurrencies. Okay, so I'm pulling up a few different tabs here. Give me a few seconds, because I want to make sure everything is based off of data and based off of what's actually happened, right? We're not here wishfully thinking about how to make millions in crypto, value investing. We're going through what's actually happened, right? So we're gonna go through, check the tape, right? Check the record, check the archives, and then show you how we can keep on doing that repeatedly through crypto. Okay, so first thing first, pulling up my desktop here. All right, there we go. Hopefully all of you can see this. So let's actually, here, let me first switch this off. Let me speak to the camera real quick. So what is value investing? Value investing does not mean buying something cheap. People misconstrue or confuse value investing with buying something at a cheap price. No, that's not necessarily the case. Now, something can be cheap, and you could be a value investor buying it cheap, but no, right? Value investing is finding something to invest in that is undervalued by definition. Right? Undervalued to where the market is currently pricing it at. So for example, let's say Bitcoin or even Ethereum, right? In this case, let's use Bitcoin as an example. Let's say Bitcoin is trading, the market is pricing it at $2,000. And based on your own analysis, you believe that Bitcoin is worth, in the next few years, $100,000. That by definition means that it is undervalued, right? Because if you believe Bitcoin is going to $100,000 and is currently trading at $2,000, you have a 50x growth opportunity right there. That's by definition called value investing. Now, on the other hand, one other example to really hit home what value investing is, let's say you believe Bitcoin is worth, in that same example, $100,000. But let's say your analysis ends up being on point, ends up being perfect, but Bitcoin is trading at $200,000. What does that mean? That means Bitcoin is overvalued. So one thing to note with both examples, value investing is really about where you believe something is worth versus the market. It has nothing to do with the asset itself. Even though you do use the asset, the fundamentals of the asset for your analysis, you do not really, once it becomes overvalued, you take profits and you get out, right? So in that same example, right, those two examples, one example, Bitcoin was undervalued. The other example, Bitcoin was overvalued. Why is that so important to understand? That means you can't just say Bitcoin is undervalued for the rest of its life. That's not the case. You have to do it based on the actual analysis, right? So let me bring up my screen once again, right? So for those of you who saw CNBC, I was actually on TV talking about this, and all the Bitcoin maximalists did not like it because for the first time they had an Ethereum bull on CNBC telling people, hey, Bitcoin is great technology, but its days are almost over. Now, I wouldn't say almost over, but the CNBC people kind of used the clickbait title. But this video is already doing pretty well. Already has over 80,000 views on YouTube in less than a week. So CNBC said that they might have me back on, right? But this is the same narrative. Like, is Bitcoin undervalued or overvalued? I would say Bitcoin, compared to other asset classes like stocks, equities, legacy markets, yes, it's undervalued. But our job is we're trying to hit those home runs, right? So the calculus I do is yes, Bitcoin is undervalued, but are there any other assets that are even more undervalued than Bitcoin? And that's where Ethereum comes in. That's where other altcoins come in. And that's why we go through and we find hidden gems. And to go through and really showcase why times like this, yes, during crashes, why times like this, it pays to be a value investor. If we go through my personal YouTube channel, let's start with Matic Network. So if you just go here, this is my personal channel, which I've had for since 2016 doing crypto. right? I've had interviews on here, but basically, the best example is with Polygon. I'm trying to find a Polygon video. It was the India World Tour. Let me see if I can find it here. Give me 1 second. India World Tour. Yes, right? So this is a live stream from India, right? For those on IG, go follow along at youtube.com/tokenmetrics. So Matic Network, now Polygon, won this pitch competition in Hyderabad, India. Check the tape here, right? This was August 2nd, 2018. Was basically when we discovered Matic Network, right? Let me even see if we can find them actually winning or pitching. Right? But this was actually a great trip. Yes, right there. Right, this is the Matic Network team. This is Sandeep. August 2nd, 2018. This was essentially during what people would call a bear market, when crypto was not so good, right? So from August 2018 to where Matic is now, for example, if we go to Polygon, right? Matic Polygon, looking at their ROI, this is a 429x return since inception, right? And if you got in, okay, I'm not sure what's going on here, but anyway, even by this other measure, over 351x return. So basically, if you got Matic, or if you knew about it from back in August 2nd, 2018, because their token hadn't even launched yet. Their token launched a year later through a Binance IEO. But this was basically through a crash, through when people thought altcoins were dead, nobody was touching altcoins, it was the end of the world, everything's going to zero, but there was still value to be had, right? So this is one real world example of a project during a crash, during a bear market, that has delivered significant returns to investors, right? Significant returns. So looking at this, over 400x return. And this is after a crash. I mean, because Matic went to 262 all-time high 5 days ago, right? It's already corrected 60% because of the whole crypto crash. But in times like this, you do not want to be panicking. You want to be doing your research and finding the next 100x and the next 1000x possibly. And Matic Polygon is one example of that. Okay, then the other example, Helium Network. So if we go back to my personal YouTube channel as well, let's look up Helium. And by the way, for those who are new, in terms of what this means for ROI, that means if you had put $1,000 into Polygon, you would have turned that to over $400,000. Just think about that. $1,000 times 429x, $429,000, basically $430,000. Now imagine if you had put in 20 grand. Right? If you had put in 20 grand, let me do the math real quick. Let's say $20,000 times 429, you would have made $8.5 million. That's why value investing works even during a crash, because that's the best time you buy everything at a discount. So we had one of our customers in the professional plan on tokenmetrics.com send us an email just thanking us, saying about a year ago he put $80,000 into Matic Network Polygon, and it became worth almost $10 million. Just think about that, almost $10 million. This is why you say cryptocurrency is the largest generational transfer in human history. It's the largest wealth transfer in human history, because you can get returns like this, but you have to be willing to find this in times like this when everything is crashing. So going back here to Helium, this is a video I put up on Helium. This was also back in 2018, I believe. Actually, 2019, apologies. Actually, this was 2018, but we posted the video 2019. Yeah, because I think it was a pretty long bear market. Just think about this, because we were in China during our Crypto World Tour, and I went to see the Helium offices to meet Frank Monk. This is that's their B-roll. This was in August 2018, but the video came out 2019, We kind of took almost over 6 months to put out the video. But anyway, that's besides the point, right? What really matters is this video was covered in 2019, which by whatever measure you want to use was not really a bull market. Not everything was going up. I mean, this is the helium device back then, right? I viewed this device at the offices. They're building it. It had no container around it. It was just the chip. And I said, this is the future, right? This is going to be a great project. And if we go to Helium Network, this has been the second project we covered during the crash back in 2018, 2019, that's done over 100x return, I believe. And so looking at this, the all-time low right now, even despite the crash, all-time low was 11 cents. But if you've been mining this, your cost basis is lower than that, because we covered this before the token even launched. So basically, it went from 11 cents all-time low to the all-time high was $20.86. Right now, it's dropped about 50% in 2 months. But imagine if you got into this at 20 cents and went to $20. That's 100x. That's not one, but 200x projects during the crash of 2018 and 2019. And these projects, even during the crash, we were still researching these projects, trying to find the next 100x, the next project. And I bring this up because the title of the stream is How to Make Millions in Crypto During a Crash. Right? So now that you know this is doable, right? Based on Helium, based on Polygon, now we're going to repeat this market cycle after this crash, right? The market has crashed, 50%, whatever. We're going to find the same process, same projects that will hopefully give us the same level of returns. Okay, so what's the strategy behind that? How do we do this? So one book I always recommend to everybody is called The Most Important Thing. This is my investing Bible. This book by Howard Marks, best book ever, honestly. For investing, it's the Bible. The Bible to value investing, to fundamental analysis. And that example I mentioned, this book goes through that, right? So if you want to really understand value investing, I highly recommend getting this book. Now, this book is not even a crypto book. It's just a book for value investing into anything. Right? Let me see if I can get some chapters in the book. Right? But I highly recommend any value investor should get this book. Actually, no, not outline. I'm looking for a table of content. Actually, yeah. Let me try to get some images that illustrate value investing. Because there are lots of charts in that book that really go through and help you understand the concept of being a value investor. Right? So without having to go through the entire book right now, let me see if I can pull up some charts there. Hope you're all doing well. If you're enjoying the stream, please smash the like button, subscribe, share this with your friends. This is an overtime session. Enjoying here a nice whiskey Coke. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so he actually has two books. One is called The Most Important Thing. The other one is called Mastering the Market Cycle. Both books are good, but The Most Important Thing to me is the best one for setting the foundations on what the book does. Right, so this is a very common chart that has been seen everywhere, right? Most people come in and buy here during mass media, right? Like NFTs, influencers, YouTubers, mainstream media is talking about crypto and all that. But as a value investor, you want to buy down here and you want to buy down here, right? The best way to really explain value investing to a point where anybody can understand this is this. You want to buy from pessimists. You want to buy from people who think this is the end of the world, this is going to zero, it's over, the music has stopped, let's get out, let's not get wrecked, basically when people capitulate, that's the best time to buy. Why is that? Because you're buying everything at a discount. People want to get the hell out of whatever they're holding so quickly, they'll sell it pennies on the dollar. So you're buying everything at a discount. It's like you're basically going thrift store shopping, right? Basically garage sale shopping. And then you take profits, you cash out, when everybody's trying to buy. When you basically buy from pessimists and sell to optimists. You sell to people who think this is going to the moon and beyond. They think this is the best thing since sliced bread. This is the future. This is going to change the world. Those are the people you sell to because you can sell to them at a premium. Right? You can sell to them at a 2-3x whatever it's worth. Right? That's the definition of value investing. You buy low, sell high. But buy low, sell high is too simple. I prefer the term which comes from the book, buying from pessimists, selling to optimists. Buying from people that are getting wrecked and selling to moon boys and girls, right? That's the definition of value investing. And once again, value investing doesn't really matter what the asset is because you can even value invest in shitcoins or in bad assets, right? So for example, Howard Marks, who's a billionaire investor who made that book, and both books, The Most Important Thing and Mastering the Market Cycle. So he basically invests in distressed bonds, I believe. They're basically junk bonds that people thought were complete garbage. He's able to repeatedly deliver great returns by finding junk bonds that people don't want to touch, that have value. We're basically taking that same approach and applying it towards investing in altcoins. We're basically finding altcoins. People believe that everything's bad, everything's garbage, everything's trash, and we're finding value. We're finding hidden gems. We're going dumpster diving and finding diamonds in the rough. Projects like Polygon, Matic that deliver 100x returns. And what we learned in the last market cycle is it's not just about getting 100x returns. It's about finding projects that will still be around after the bear market, projects that will bounce back and hit an all-time high. Because I learned in my first crypto bull market back in 2017 from Icon, Wabi, all those projects did 100x returns. However, they have not hit new all-time highs in this market cycle, in this new bull run, meaning that they were pump and dumps basically. And now we want to find projects that are not pump and dumps, projects that will actually be around and make money, because in a correction, in a crash, everything goes down. Even Bitcoin, Ethereum, and everything. Your whole portfolio tanks probably 80 to 90%. But you have to be willing to weather the storm because you know if you're in value, everything will bounce back. But if you're not in value, nothing will bounce back, right? So you basically want to have that margin of error. This is something made popular by Warren Buffett, meaning that when you invest into something, your margin of error should be very, very high. Because if you get into something undervalued, you have lots of wiggle room for a crash. Okay, so that's kind of the high level of that. Now, how do we value invest in crypto? Great question. That's why we have Token Metrics. But for those of you who are brand new, let me kind of go through what we do. Right? In the past, we did things differently. Now, with Token Metrics and having our team of experts around us, we do things even better. We've basically learned from our mistakes. And the main thing I would say is we first filter out projects. So we're going through, I would say, 70 projects a week that our team is researching every single week. And we filter them out first based on fundamentals. Fundamentals being the team, the early investors and VCs backing them, the use case, the tokenomics, all of that. We go through that, and out of those 70, we may find anywhere between 1 to maybe 5 good projects a week. During this bull run, we've been finding lots of good projects, but sometimes there'll be no project for a while, but you don't want to force the investment. You want to make sure you're patient, right? You sit there and you just wait for the right investment. It's kind of like you want to have a sniper approach. You don't want to just spray and pray, because forcing the investment is what causes people to get wrecked. Because you can't expect to have a Helium, a Polygon, an Ethereum, all these great products popping up every single week. That's just impossible. So you have to sit there, and the market tells you when a good project comes, right? So sometimes it could be 5 good projects in a week. Sometimes it could be 5 good projects in a year. So depending on whatever that is, then you invest. So with us, we first filter out the good projects based on fundamentals. So meaning that right now we're looking at, in the past it was 80% or higher on the fundamental grade, but now during this crash, we've actually raised that bar to being 85% or higher on the fundamentals. And now we're changing that. No, actually, no, sorry. We're not changing that. It's still 85%, And then once we filter that out, we have, let's say, 5 projects. Then we have our team of blockchain engineers go through and do code reviews on the project itself. This is the most important part because now we're looking at the actual technology to determine, will this project be around in 5 years? If the whole market crashes, is there actual value here? And the code reviews is where you find out the great projects. That's how we've discovered Matic, Polygon, because our developers, they were just FOMOing over that project. Eugene and Alex, if you're watching this, thank you for discovering Matic and Polygon. But you know something is great when developers are just raving about this project. We have not met a developer on our team who does not love Matic. Not just that, but every developer on our team, I believe, has actually built something on Matic. That's how much they like it, right? So when you see things like that, you know this will have actual utility, actual value 5 years down the road. Because markets move in cycles, as we see in this chart, right? Markets move in cycles. Cycles repeat. And people always think that this time is different. This time things will be different, things will change. But you have to understand, even the best projects will crash and lose money. I mean, Ethereum went to 1,400 last market cycle, came back down to $100. Bitcoin went to 19,000, came back down to 3K. So even the best projects will crash. You have to be ready for even the great projects to lose 80 to 95% of their value. But what matters isn't that they lose their value. What matters is that they bounce back and go past their prior all-time high. That's when you make the real money, right? And to find that, you have to look at the actual technology, and that's why we have our code reviews. We put that out every Tuesday, every Sunday, code reviews, and even now in this crash, we've elevated the score, right? So now we have to have 85% on code review and 85% on the fundamentals. But when you do that, you know the products you find, one, have great technology, great fundamentals, and two, they're undervalued, right? Now, how do you determine value? So I'll show you how I determine value. So this is, let me switch over to my screen here. So for example, if we go to CoinGecko, I'll show you how I was able to know Matic or Polygon would do very, very well. Even after like over 1 or 2 years of trading, because back when they're still called Matic, their market cap was around 95, 100 market cap. Then they announced Polygon. Basically, they went from being Ethereum layer 2 scaling to the internet of layer 2 scaling on Ethereum. So what I do is I look at that project, I look at their technology, how good is their technology, and then I compare that to similar projects in the market and what the market is valuing that project at. So with Matic, because I got in under 3 cents, bought some more at 10 cents after they announced this. The same day they announced this, I think in less than 6 hours, I bought more and I went heavy. Matic became about 10% of my portfolio at the time, because that's how bullish I was on this fundamental change, this fundamental catalyst. And Matic's market cap at that time was $500 million. It was $500 million. However, they were doing interoperability. So I looked at competing projects that also have the interoperability use case. So that projects were, where's Avalanche? So we had Avalanche, right? Avalanche at the time had a market cap around 3 or 4 billion, I believe. Then you also had Cosmos, you had Polkadot. Basically, I looked at competing projects that also had the whole internet of other blockchains, and I looked at what the market was valuing them. And I said, is this technology, so let's say Avalanche was $5 billion and Polygon, Matic, was $500 million. That's a 5x difference. So I asked myself, is the technology for Avalanche 5 times better than Polygon? No, right? And having the code review score helped with that, right? Because the code review score for Matic was an 88. And for Avalanche was like I think it was in the 70s, like a 76. So I already knew Matic had better technology. I knew lots of developers were talking about this. And I said, this is very undervalued. And I said, okay, what's the lowest market cap for a competing project with the same use case? And it was about $2.5 billion. And I said, okay, so Matic basically has a 5x from this current market cap. Then I said, okay, what's the best case scenario? And best case scenario I thought was $5 billion market cap. So I said, that's a 10x. And for me, when I invest, I'm looking for anything that can do a 10x return. So I said, you know what, let me double down, because my thesis is that Ethereum will flip Bitcoin, And Polygon Matic is helping them with that, with layer 2 scaling. So based off of that, my target at the time was for Matic to hit top 20, top 30 market cap. Top 30 was the safe prediction. Top 20 was the aggressive prediction. And Matic crossed top 20 market cap, right? Because the market was able to eventually figure out its value. And the whole premise of value investing is, think of value investing as being on an island. So imagine you find an island. Nobody is on that island. You go there, and you're basically like a real estate developer, right? Like, best example, imagine Tulum, right? For anybody who's been to Tulum, I know it's kind of the crypto island. Like, imagine Tulum, I don't know what, 50 years back, and you're a real estate developer. You go there, and you're like, man, this is perfect weather, great island. You're projecting far out, like, I can turn this into something, or this has potential. You see potential, but then when you see potential, you then invest into it. You invest early. You always want to be early. Once you get in early on that island, you're willing to stay there on that island until everybody else eventually finds out how valuable that island is, the potential of it, right? You're basically getting in early on the ground floor and waiting for everything to develop. That's what value investors do. They find investments that are undervalued, get in early, and wait for the market to realize the actual value of that asset, right? That's what Warren Buffett does. That's what Howard Marks does. That's what we do at Token Metrics with crypto assets. We find projects, very pre-launch, projects like Polygon, Helium, and others, pre-launch typically, or even those that are undervalued, already trading on exchanges, and then we wait for the market to realize how valuable they are. But this is not easy. It takes strength. It takes fortitude to be able to be on an island by yourself and imagine camping on an island by yourself through the storms, right? Like this week was a storm, right? Imagine still being on that island. And the only way to really stay on that island, to have that faith, to have that preservation, is to do your research and really believe in the fundamentals and the technology. Because when you do that, you'll weather the storm. But people have paper hands, get shaken out very quickly because they buy investments and don't know what they're investing in. If you don't know what you're investing in, you will get wrecked. You will basically buy the top, sell the bottom. Because when crashes like this happen, like Polygon, let's go to Polygon actually, because this is one of the best examples of this. Polygon has had a drawdown of more than 50% twice. All right, so if we go to CoinGecko here, actually here, let me switch this to 2020. I want to look at this time frame here. Sorry, you guys cannot see this. Let me switch my screen. Right, so for example, right, look at this. Polygon on December 6, 2019, dropped from 41 cents to, what is this? To 0.017 cents. In basically a few days. It had a flash crash. It had a crash. And this crash shaked out so many people. They got wrecked. They sold. They rage quit because they said, you know what? I'm not going to take this. But those of us who knew the fundamentals have not changed, the technology has not changed. The only thing that's changed is the market's sentiment. Basically, speculators who don't know what the value is of this are rage quitting. And that's when you come in and scoop up, right? You buy here, you buy here, you buy the dip here, buy the dip here, right? Look at this. This March 17th, 2020, Polygon was less than 1 cent. And basically about a year later, it goes to 262. Right? Now, the people who rage quit here, they aren't doing too well. I mean, they definitely wish they could have hodled, right? But because even if you were here, right, projects with real value always bounce back. Because let's say you bought the top here at 4 cents, and you're like, man, I'm wrecked. But guess what? You hodled, right? And then the rest is history, right? It went to $2.62. So that's what we mean by value investing. Projects with fundamentals, great technology, they bounce back. Okay, so with that being said, how do we do this now, right? I would say, for those of you who are customers, just look at the list of projects we're covering that have a code review score over 85%. So the ones I'm looking at now that we've covered recently with a code review score over 85%, Chia Network, and then Integral, which is a DEX. So Chia, let me actually switch to, this is the project, Chia Network. If I pull it up here, this is on my watch list. Right now, I'm basically plotting and farming this project, and I'm eyeing this, right? Market cap under $500 million. I'm still watching this to see if it corrects. Basically, it's already down over 30% in the last 2 weeks, right? All-time high was 1,645, all-time low 558. So basically, my target is somewhere around here, basically under $600. It's getting close there, right? Right now, it's trading on OKX and Gate.io. I may have to sign up for Gate.io and possibly buy some. But this is what I'm watching, right? Why do I like this project? 1, great technology, right? 2, great fundamentals, right? The team, the investors, and it has a high use case. It has a potential to 5x. So right now it's basically $500 million market cap. And if it does a 10x, I'm sorry, not 5x, 10x, that's $5 billion. So going back to what I said similar with Polygon, I look at Chia and I ask myself, this is a blockchain that's competing with Bitcoin, competing with Ethereum. Its main value prop is it's eco-friendly and it's meant to be more decentralized. And I ask myself, okay, what similar projects with the same use case and what's their market cap? Bitcoin's market cap, $650 billion. Ethereum's market cap, $245 billion. Cardano, $42 billion. BNB, $40 billion. Polkadot, $17 billion, right? ICP, $17 billion. Like, what's the Solana? Solana is almost $7 billion. So I ask myself, if this is on the same level as Solana, then it's very undervalued. Its market cap is $500 million. Solana, which is also a application, a smart contract blockchain, is $7 billion. So this could literally do a 10x, go from $500 million to $5 billion, and still be more undervalued than Solana. That's a great value investment, in my opinion. Not financial advice. Let's see what other EOS. EOS is $4 billion. EOS hasn't done squat in this market cycle, basically. So I ask myself, is this project, from a technology standpoint, better than EOS? Let's say the answer is yes, right? I believe the answer is just based on code reviews. I have to double check. But let's say they're on the same level as EOS. I mean, I think it's definitely better than Tron, and Tron is worth 4.5 billion. So as a result of that, I tell myself, okay, this has 10x potential. With a code review over 85%, this is a good project to invest in. But even right now, I'm still not investing because I'm thinking, what if this can go lower? So right now, I'm just basically farming this. And I like projects that you can also earn passively. So projects like Helium with mining, Polygon with staking, and Chia Network with this farming, right? So this is why I have Chia Network. And right now, I haven't bought any. I'm just farming this, but I do plan to buy this eventually. I'm basically watching this on my watch list. One other project I invested in recently, I don't think it's trading yet, is Integral DEX. Okay, yeah, so it's not here. This is basically a DEX similar to Uniswap, similar to SushiSwap. And the main premise is this is giving fees. It's a cash flow positive token. It's giving fees back to the users. So it's basically a DEX. And let me see their token sale. I think when they launch, the market cap is going to be under 200 million. Don't quote me on that. Because let me see if this is available here. Give me 1 second. If you're enjoying this live stream, please smash the like button, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Okay, so they're blocking that. But anyway, I think the market cap when they launch is going to be under $200 million. So let's say this is a DEX, right? So what's a competing DEX? Let's go to Uniswap. right? Uniswap's market cap is about $9 billion. So if we come here and we look at all these other automated market maker dexes, right? So the great thing with CoinGecko, they have categories here. So you can just click on this and see how all this is performing, or rather looking at the valuation, right? So in this case, I say, okay, Uniswap's market cap, its valuation is about 9 billion. PancakeSwap is about 2 billion. SushiSwap is about 1.5 billion. Bancor is about 750 million. And I ask myself this project is currently valued at under 200 million. Let's say $200 million, I believe, last time I checked. And it hasn't launched yet. Because I think it might have been actually 130 million, but for now, I'll just say 200 million. So I tell myself, can this do a 10x? If it does a 10x, that would make it basically the third largest DEX in all of crypto, which I think is possible. So the question is, how good is it technology compared to Uniswap, compared to SushiSwap and PancakeSwap? Well, the technology score got an 85, Uniswap got a 94, right? So I then use that to be reasonable and tell myself, okay, there's no way it's gonna surpass Uniswap and market cap with a lower technology score, with a lower code review score. But let's say I think it has the same technology score as SushiSwap or PancakeSwap, then I'm looking at basically over $1.5 billion valuation, right? So if it's 200 million, that's slightly under a 10x. But let's say it's $150 million market cap. That's a sweet spot. So if anything, I may put that on my watch list, wait for it to dip to 150, and then get in with a target of 1.5 market cap, basically a 10x price from there, right? So that's one example of how I would value invest. Okay, so one other thing I want to talk about, when you're value investing, you want projects that give you an incentive to hold. What do I mean by that? So right now, I think the next narrative, which we've kind of covered this several months back, are cash flow positive tokens. Tokens that pay you to hold them. So for example, why Helium has been pretty stable during this crash prior to Friday, because prior to Friday it was, let me see if I can pull up the chart actually. Give me 1 second here. We shared this in our private alerts channel with our professional customers. Okay, so let me pull this up here. Okay, give me 1 second here. Okay, yeah, so looking at it, this is what we posted. This was, I think, on Thursday. During the crash, the 7-day return, sorry, you guys cannot see this. Let me switch my screen here. Give me 1 second. Right, so this was during the crash when everything else was crashing and the music stopped. Polygon 7-day return was 50%. And guess what? Helium's return was minus 0.4%. And guess what? All these other coins are stable coins. So Helium Network and Polygon, prior to the second or third crash on Friday, prior to that, when the market had tanked to like 40, 50%, these projects were still holding their value. And these are two projects that we've been talking about for a long time. Why? Because these have actual fundamentals, great technology, and the market eventually discovered that. That's why they've been on a huge rally. That's why they both did 100x returns, right? Because the reason why Helium is doing so well, the fundamentals are basically immune to a bear market. That might seem crazy, but they are, right? So for example, let me go back. All right, so let's go to Helium. Actually, let's explore Helium, right? And I'll show you why this project, honestly, this is a recession-proof project. During a crash, I'll be surprised if this loses money. Not financial advice, but this is a network, a literal network. They're building a decentralized internet. They began with IoT, and now they're doing a 5G network. Basically, they're building a cell phone network to go after T-Mobile, Verizon. But guess what? we knew about that before because we've done our research. And that the market is just discovering this. But those of you who've been following our channel, we've mentioned that they could build an internet, right? Back in 2019, right? I think I even mentioned this in the video here, right? Back in 2019, right? They began out initially for IoT devices, but I recall when I went to San Francisco to meet the Helium team, when I asked them, hey, could you also do like the actual internet on this? They didn't say no. They're kind of cautious with saying yes. They didn't say yes either, but the hint was this is possible. And lo and behold, it's happening. But those of us who could read the tea leaves, right, who saw the paint on the wall, we got in early, got in at the bottom, and now it's doing well, right? But I want to show why products like this do well in bear markets. So right now, Helium has 41,000 hotspots. But check this out. And the price is already up 9%. Where do I want to go? Here, let's go to view hotspots. Okay, so this is the network growth for hotspots for Helium. Can we zoom out on this? Okay, so basically, the furthest back it looks like it's going is 2020, right? So less than a year ago, they had 4,000 hotspots. June 6, 2020, right? Now they're at 40. That's 10x. 10x growth in less than a year in hotspots. Now, I don't know about you, but do you expect this to crash if in the next 1 year, let's say we have a bear market from now until the next 2 years. But guess what? The growth for their hotspots will not stop. So that means more people will be joining the network despite a crash. So as a result of that, I don't really see how the fundamentals change during a crash. If anything, the fundamentals get better during a crash. Because right now, there are 41,000 hotspots. They've added 13,000 hotspots in the last 30 days, in the last 1 month. Crash or no crash, right? Because as value investors, we're not looking at the price. Yes, we look at the price, or rather the market cap, the valuation, to compare where the market is valuing other projects. But Helium today had 41,000 hotspots. If I told you in the next 1 month, they add 15,000 extra hotspots, even if the market dropped 50%, again, has the value of Helium changed? It hasn't. If anything, it's gotten better. They've added 15,000 hotspots. Now, if anything, Helium expects to add over 200,000 hotspots in the next 6 to 12 months. Right now, hotspots are sold out. People are waiting forever. They're complaining about not getting their hotspots. But as value investors, we factor this in because we're not looking at the price, because the price, those are paper hands. We're people who are trying to get on the island first. Now, if we say, okay, you know what? With 41,000 hotspots, the market is pricing Helium at, where's the price? Just give me 1 second here. At $13.23, basically $13 with 41,000 hotspots. If I told you they have 5 times more hotspots arriving in 6 months, do you need to look at the price to know the price is going up? Right? I mean, let's say those, because let's just do stupid, simple math. Right? Let's say they add 5 times more hotspots. Are we looking at a price to go up 5 times? Right, let's say it's $10. We're basically looking at $15. Or if we're looking at, let's just do 13 times 5. We could say Helium could $50 or $65. But guess what? Even if it crashes, if Helium could go back down to $1, if that happens, we're going to back up the Brinks truck and buy everything. Because the market, Mr. Market, for those who read the book, The Intelligent Investor, you don't want to pay attention to the market. Mr. Market, because they'll go wherever the wind blows. You're that person who's there on the island and is building a home there, right? So how can you go where the wind blows if you're building a home, right? So it's like somebody who's just there, who's just seasonal. You aren't just building a home using wood. You're building a home with bricks, concrete, a home that's gonna survive any tornado, any storm, any hurricane, whatever, right? You're building a rock solid foundation, and that's based on your research. And the research is helium in 2019 launched in North America, in America basically. In 2020, they launched in Europe. Then in 2021, they've launched in Asia. It doesn't take a genius to figure out, bear market or not, China has billions of people. They haven't even launched in India yet. They haven't even launched in South America or Africa or Australia yet. Right? So they're launching in Asia, billions of people. They have over 200,000 devices coming out that the market has not factored into its price analysis, in my opinion. So when I look at that, plus people are making money just plugging in their hotspot. Like my hotspot, even with this current crash, is making about $2,500 a month. And the device costs about $400 to buy. You spend $400, and in the first month, if you're in a central area, I'm here in Austin, you've already recouped your investment. Why would you sell? So basically, you buy the device, you recoup your money, plus more in the first month, and there are 5 times more devices about to launch. They've just launched in Asia, and they're announcing 5G. Right? So when you have all that research and you understand what's really happening with the project, you huddle through thick and thin, right? So when going back to, because there was a crash here with Polygon. Anyway, if you go back to the video earlier, when I showed how Polygon dropped like 60% in a few days, people like us who have this research, we scoop and we wait for the rebound for it to go past this all-time high and get 100x and more returns. But anyway, going back to cash flow positive tokens. So the projects I'm looking at, besides Helium and Chia Network, are projects that pay you to hold. So one is Liquidity. The reason I like Liquidity, if we go here, right now it's actually at a discount because I got in around $18. It's actually dropped to, sorry, no, not that one. That's the, so the 2 projects I like, Liquidity, LQTY, is under $10. Now the reason I like this is a project that has value. So how do you determine value? We covered this before, right? We look at where this project is. This is basically a lending and borrowing project, right? When you're doing value investing, you always have to look at similar projects on the market and compare them to what the market is valuing them to where this other project is being valued at. So in this case, we go to CoinGecko and we're looking at all the projects for lending and borrowing coins by market cap, right? And the largest project right now is Aave. Aave is basically $4 billion market cap. MakerDAO, 2.6 billion. Compound, 1.7 billion. And Venus is 280 million. Right? So if we go to Liquidity is 43 million. That's a pretty low market cap. Right? Now, if we go and compare this to a site I like is called DeFi Llama. Right? So if we come here and go to lending, do we have Liquidity here? Where do they categorize this? Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay, so right now, this is looking just purely at protocols, right? So Liquidity is ranked 15th in terms of TVL. So Liquidity has a TVL of $1.78 billion. MakerDAO is 7.6, right? Sorry, let me just click on this. I'm not sure why they're not putting this under lending. Okay, they have it under minting. Not sure what the heck that is. Here, let's use DeFi Pulse instead for this one. These are 2 sites I like. DeFi Llama is typically better because they look at all blockchains, not just Ethereum. They look at Solana, Polkadot, and other ecosystems, while DeFi Pulse looks typically just at Ethereum. But basically, I'm looking at the valuations and how widely used they are versus the competition. All right, why is this not loading? I don't think I have my ad block on. Sorry, let's redo that. If you're enjoying the stream, please smash the like button and subscribe. Okay, there we go. Okay, so here we go. We go to lending. Liquidity is ranked number 5 in lending on Ethereum, right? So we have basically 1.8 billion, 1.8, let's say $2 billion, almost $2 billion locked up in Liquidity, and about $7 billion locked up in Aave. Then look at some other protocols here, and I'm looking at, okay, this is a project that launched about 2 months ago, and it already has almost $2 billion locked up. And comparing this to other projects, okay, that's not what I wanted. Right? Aave has a market cap of 4 billion, and Venus, which is basically the same in terms of TVL, has a market cap of 280. Right? So, apologies, I'm bouncing around here. Right? Venus, yeah, market cap of 280, and they have about the same TVL. So Venus, if anything, is overvalued relative to Liquidity, right? So for me, I'm looking at, okay, Liquidity right now, let's say it's 50 million. I think this could go to at least a 5x relative to where Venus is, right? So that's one example I would use, right? To say, okay, this is undervalued. But then if we also look at the rest of the market, I said, because Liquidity got its code review score of, I think, 84. So it's slightly below the threshold of 85, but in the past it was 80 until the market crashed. But let's say I think this could come close to these projects, right? So we're looking at this $7 billion locked. We're looking at this as $2 billion. So about $5 billion difference. If I do some paper napkin math, what would that get us? Okay, so let's do 6.86 divided by, let's use the market cap here. So this, let's say this is $4 billion market cap, just to make the math simple, with a $7 billion TVL, right? So we'll just say 1.75 times TVL to valuation. Actually, just do it the other way. Liquidity. Okay, hold on. Sorry, I'm just trying to see how to best do the valuation analysis for this quickly. 7 divided by 4. Yeah, 1.5 market cap. I'll be getting to questions towards the end of this stream. Okay, so Liquidity has 1.81 divided by 0.043. So this has a TVL ratio versus market cap of 42, right? So $1.8 billion over $43 million market cap versus Aave 6.86. Right, 6.86 with a market cap of $3.8. 1.8, right? So if we're looking at this, 1.8, what it was, 42 something. So I think, according to this, liquidity is 23 more times undervalued. I'm not sure if that's exactly what I was trying to do, but basically it's undervalued. Long story short, without having to do any calculus here. Because compared to the amount of money flowing into liquidity versus Aave to the valuation, this tells me this is very, very undervalued because it has good code review score, not 85, it's 84. However, versus what the market is valuing other projects, this is undervalued. Plus, they pay you to hold their token, right? It's a cash flow positive token, meaning that when you have their token, you get a share of the fees they earn from borrowing and lending. And I think one of the reasons why this is undervalued is right now they only accept Ethereum as collateral. If they add other assets as collateral, then this could really go up, right? Because I think this can definitely do a 5, but I think definitely a 10x, right? Then let's also look at Alchemix. Same thing, also lending. This one I bought as well. I think this can also do a 10x because I think this also got an 84, I believe. I think this can go to about $2 billion market cap, right? Relative to all these other projects. Actually, what's the TVL on Alchemix? Do we have Alchemix here? So actually, Alchemix has a much lower TVL versus liquidity. So if anything, liquidity is actually more undervalued, right? Alchemix has a market cap of 190 million with a lot lower TVL, right? So actually the move is liquidity, but I like both projects. I own both. I bought some Alchemix during this crash. I plan to buy more. Right now it's less than 1% of my portfolio, but I'm basically scaling into it. So one thing to do during crashes is you don't just buy the dip but buy everything in one day, right? So for me, my strategy, this could be different for anybody, but for me, my strategy is to buy slowly, right? Because you don't know if you basically dollar cost averaging in case things keep on crashing. But you basically keep a watch list of projects you like, and you buy them when they dip. So for me, I bought this somewhere around here, basically under $200 million market cap, to make it less than 1%. Let's say 1% of my portfolio. And let's say my target is to make it at most 5%. So during each large crash, I'll buy some more and basically accumulate. Right? I'm basically accumulating this because it's a project of value. Now, what fundamentals make me bullish on this in terms of value? So, if you watched our video on TMTV, I did a deep dive on Alchemix, but basically the Cliff Notes version is, right now, you can only leverage DAI as collateral. But this month, based on their blog post and their interviews they've done, they plan to add Ethereum as collateral. So I think that changes the fundamentals. Then they also plan to add wrapped Bitcoin as collateral in the future. Plus, they plan to, using governance and their DAO, to turn their token into a cash flow positive token, meaning that the fees the protocol earns from lending and borrowing, use it for lending and borrowing, will be paid out to the token holders at stake. So you have an incentive to hold because you're earning a fee. So as the TVL goes up, right? As the TVL goes up, you're earning money. So I love tokens that pay me to hold. Clipnotes version, find great projects that will bounce back in a crash, go to a new all-time high, that pay you to hold them during a crash, right? Whether it's mining with the Helium or Chia network, whether it's Alchemix when they add those rewards, or whether it's liquidity, right? Plus, they also give you API for staking as well. So, what other projects do I like? Yes, I do like ALCX, not financial advice. Okay, I've been talking a lot. Let me get to some questions here. Hey, good morning, Parag. How are you? If you're not following me on IG, definitely check me out. Diary of a Mademan is my Instagram. I'm probably the most active on Instagram out of all different platforms. Then on YouTube, hey, what's up? Chia? Yes, Chia Network. This is CHIA. There's been lots of rumors around this. There was a blog post on CoinDesk saying they had launched Chia mining in China, but then they took it down. But I think that's definitely needed. But Chia is on my watch list of projects to buy. Right now, I think as it keeps on dipping, because this is a project I will hodl, right? And plus, I'm farming this. For those who want to see here, right? I have a deep dive on this as well on TMTV. I'm still in the process of adding plots. I'm actually plotting right now as we do this live stream. Right? Looks like this plot is almost done here. But I mean, projects that pay you during crashes are great. That's how you come out on top, right? Because same thing with Matic. I was staking Matic, earning 22% APY for over a year before it took off and rallied, right? So when it rallies, then those gains multiply even more, right? So when it does 100x, those gains from that 22%, they also 100x, right? So projects like that, they do very, very well. Can I please talk about SNX? SNX, what about SNX? Actually, I think I got out of SNX a while back based on the visual trends indicator. I mean, SNX is a great project, great technology. All I hear about is Audius. Audius is great technology as well. It scored over a 90 on the code review and fundamentals. One of the few projects to do that recently. So that's one project I bought some already a while back. One other project on my watch list, Casper Labs. That's scored over in 90%. Actually, let's see where it's doing now, because now it's been trading for some time. Oh, Casper Network, not Casper Labs. Yeah, market cap is still not listed on CoinGecko yet. But I mean, just think about this. A project with a code review score over 90% is down almost 45% in 1 week. I mean, that's when you start salivating, right? And I mean, wow, somebody actually bought this at $40. That was probably a fat finger, I think. Right, but project like this is on my radar. Right now it's trading on Huobi, OKX, and CoinList. Yeah, so in a crash, something like this I would look to buy, right? And how would I compare this, right? I would look at their circulating supply. So right now, it's not even here, right? So actually, let's go through an exercise of how I would value invest into Casper Network. Right? Because I think if you understand how to do this, you're further along to being a value investor. So let's go to their webpage here. Actually, I may also have to pull up their CoinList token sale page. But hopefully they have this data on the webpage. Okay, so we already know this has great technology. Now the question is, where is it currently versus the market, and where can it go? Okay, so that's not what I wanted. I'll just go to CoinList. Hello, everybody. My opinion on Terra or Terra? Is helium mining profitable if I have the only hotspot in my city? Probably not, no. You definitely want to, if anything, just buy three devices and give to your friends in the city who are within 1 or 2 miles of where you are. That's probably the best thing to do, honestly. So why isn't this? Sorry, it's not available. Okay, I guess because I'm not on my VPN. Casper Network. total supply. Actually, I want the token supply, not the total. But basically, what you have to do is you have to look at the circulating supply. So right now we're researching this. You have to go to a third-party site because they're blocking U.S. users, and I don't want to turn on the VPN because it might add a lag to the live stream. So, but typically this information you can get from the token sale of a project that just launched or is about to launch. ICO drops might also have this information. Okay, yeah, so these are their tokenomics. This is ICO drops. Let's see here. So we're looking at basically mainnet launch, then each part here is 1 month. So we're looking at about 5 billion tokens launching within the first 5 months. Is that right? Let me see. That doesn't seem right. Hopefully this is also in their documentation. Yeah, sometimes you have to get this somewhere. That's tough to get. Let's go to economics here. Opinion on DFYN. I've been hearing a lot about it, but I haven't looked into it. I know our team was researching this. They might have even put out a review on this. So I'll definitely check that out. Shiba Inu I would not touch, not financial advice, but why chase meme coins when you can find products with actual value like Helium and Polygon that will be around no matter what? I don't want to put my gains at risk on a meme. If you are going to do it, if you're going to speculate, treat it as gambling. Put less than 1% of your portfolio into it. Okay, yeah, sorry. I'm going to have to do some Googling here. Casper Network token supply. Maybe I can get the... Is there a cache of this? Hopefully there's a cache of this so I can log in without a VPN. That would be ideal. What do I think about Ecomi? Not the first project I would personally invest in. If you're going after NFTs, there are products with better fundamentals that I know will be around. They're built on a fork of Ethereum called GoChain is a blockchain, and nobody else is really using GoChain to my knowledge. So not the first NFT play. Now, based on code reviews, the products we like based on NFTs: one, Flow, which is a blockchain for NBA Top Shot, but by Dapper Labs, great technology. Two of our blockchain engineers love that platform. That we're bullish is going to be around in the next 5 or 10 years. Two, Audius, that's music NFTs, whenever they add that. Three is a recent project we covered called NFTX. So I think this scored an 80 on the code review. But if you're looking to add an NFT asset to your portfolio, NFTX. This is also on my watch list in case I want to add some NFT exposure to my portfolio. Market cap, 21 million, right? So definitely on my watch list. It's down, 75% in 2 weeks. So, because when I was actually eyeing this, it was about a 90 to $100 million market cap. So right now, this is undervalued. Not sure if I'm gonna buy it yet, but if I did think the NFT trend was coming back in vogue, this is how I would get exposure to NFTs. Because currently I cannot buy Flow because CoinList and Kraken do not allow Americans, and it's their own blockchain, so I can't just buy it on the DEX. But this is basically, they should have the description here. So right now, this is a governance token. So the tokenomics might not be the best, right? When you're also investing, you also want to look at the tokenomics of whatever you're investing in. And right now, governance tokens are not good to invest in. And that's where we're also learning as well. Because during the mania, I mean, even governance tokens were just pumping, right? But during a crash, times like this, governance tokens, no way, right? Because there is no incentive to hold. That's why one of our other investments, Tornado Cash, has performed poorly. Technology is great, but it's a governance token and there's no incentive to hold it. That's why we have shifted to looking at cash flow positive tokens only. So Integral DEX, Liquidity, Alchemix is not, but they will pivot to that in the future. That's why I bought some slowly. But tokens that have actual utility outside of just voting are great because people honestly don't really care about voting. I mean, let's be real. People don't really care about voting. People just care about gains. And if you can make money by just holding it, that's where the gains are. But basically, this lets you mint and trade NFT index tokens, right? So it's basically creating indices on NFTs. So I think if NFTs are going to take off, this has possible value, right? So I would come here, looking at this, and just click on NFT category on CoinGecko to see how all these other projects are being valued. Then I look at where NFTX is, right? So right now, when it comes to NFTs, the largest one is Theta, which has a $6 billion market cap almost. Then Chili's, which is 1.1 billion, Engine Coin, about 900 million. So Flow is about 515 million. So we're going all the way down. Audius, 163 million. So this is undervalued, I think, based on the code review score versus these other projects, plus also the use case. So NFTX, Rarible, 34 million. That's a popular platform. So we're not even seeing this here. What did I miss this? NFTX. Yeah, so $21 million market cap. It's ranked 45th in terms of NFTs. Now, based on the code review, we think this is a lot higher, all right? So looking at this, if there's a 10x, if a 10x happens here, we're looking at $200 million market cap. That would put it next to Axie Infinity, Wax, and slightly below Bakery Swap. So I think that's possible. But the token right now is useless. So I'll probably wait until there's actual utility for the token, unless I'm mistaken, because it said it was a governance token. Actually, let's go to the documentation. But tokenomics matter the most, actually, because a project can have great technology, but if they just slap on a token for no reason, it's not really helpful, right? So going to this, token distribution. Okay, so let's just quickly go through this. I'm actually do this for a deep dive for Moon Mission, because I have to do a project tomorrow. Yeah, so NFTX is a platform for creating liquid markets for illiquid, non-fungible tokens. Users deposit their NFT into an NFTX vault and mint a fungible ERC20 token, V token, that represents a claim on a random asset from within the vault. Benefits include use minted V tokens to earn yields. Okay, that's good. Better distribution and price discovery for NFT projects. Instantly sell any NFT by minting it as an ERC20 and swapping via SushiSwap. Increased liquidity for NFT investors and speculators. So I'd have to go through this some more and see if there's actual value in their token. All right, apologies for me jumping all over the place here. We were trying to find the economics of Casper, but looks like they're not here. But anyway, if we go through using the the 500 million, where was that image? So I think it was 500 million. Actually, sorry, 5 million. So 5 million total token supply in about 6 months, right? And then in about what is this? In about almost 2 years, it's going to be at 7.5 million. So let's do both scenarios. This is kind of what Forrest does, but this is more from a fundamental analysis perspective. So at current price levels, so we're looking at 5 million. Hold on, this does not. I'm sorry, give me 1 second. I'm sorry, 5 billion. Yeah, I knew that did not sound right. Okay, so we're looking at 5 billion times 0.32. Let's do 0.33. So even though there's no market cap on here, we can still use our fundamental analysis to project what the range is, right? So looking at this, Casper Network is basically $1.65 billion market cap. Now, this is within 6 months of launch, right? Because based on that chart of the projected circulating supply or tradable supply, right? Because they launched this month, right? So it's actually somewhere here actually. So it's probably even less, right? So right now it's kind of not all the supply is trading, but I always like to project the supply 6 to 12 months out, right? Because as it's launching, it's emitting lots of tokens. Then we mentioned 7.5 billion. So 7.5 times 0.32. So we're looking at 1.65 and 2.5. So let's say 1.5 to $2.5 billion market cap is where Casper Labs is. And with a code review score of over 90, and this is a smart contract proof of stake blockchain, I then go to all the other smart contract blockchains. So let's go to Ethereum, because Casper is competing with Ethereum, with Cardano. So smart contract platform. So we click on that tag on CoinGecko. Apologies, IG. My battery was almost dead, so might have to end the IG stream. But it's also on YouTube, so you can just go to youtube.com/tokenmetrics. Tamila says Casper fully diluted. Market cap is 3.2 billion. Okay, but basically looking at this, right? Ethereum has a market cap 250 billion. Cardano 44 billion almost. ICP 17.5 billion. Stellar 9.5 billion. So let's say it's 1.5 billion right now. If it does a 10x, that's $15 billion. So that would put it slightly below ICP. Is that possible? I think so. So now the question is the technology behind Casper Network better than Stellar? If the answer is yes, then my projections would have to have it surpass the market cap of Stellar. Is it better than Chainlink? I mean, Chainlink is vital for DeFi. Solana is at 7.1 billion. So the question is Casper Network better than Solana? This is tough to say. So technology-wise, Casper got a better score, but right now there are more applications running on Solana. Casper Network still has barely any applications to my knowledge, right? However, it's worth putting on your watch list, right? Because as the market corrects and projects bounce back, Casper could bounce back, right? So right now I would say it's probably overvalued, honestly, because Avalanche is 2 billion, right? So Casper is at 1.5 billion. It's between NEM and Waves and Elrond. And I don't think so from this perspective, I think all these other projects have more applications built on top of them. So as a value investor, I would have it on my watch list, but I would not be buying right now. Now, if it goes to $500 million, okay, now we're talking, right? So from there to 5 billion is a 10x, and that would still put it slightly below Solana. And so right now, that's how I would treat that in terms of value investing. Okay, let's see the comments. Who hasn't made millions in crypto at one point? Yeah, I guess. I mean, if you haven't made millions yet, please post in the comments below. If you made millions, you wouldn't be here. Well, actually, I mean, my company is in the crypto business, so I mean, full time. I mean, you can just check the history. It's on YouTube. It's on the press. It's there, right? But when your full time job is crypto, you're in crypto. Okay. Thoughts on chain guardians? I have to double check. I think we might have reviewed that based on fundamentals, but I don't think we did a code review on that. NFTX great project. Is it uniquely competitor? I don't know uniquely, unfortunately. Can I join your research team with a biochemistry background? Well, depends. I mean, we take people with all kinds of backgrounds, but mainly investment backgrounds, and that's probably the most competitive position. Right now, we don't have any because we recently hired Forrest. But I mean, yeah. So the process of joining our research team is pretty intense because that's one of the most vital roles. So we get probably hundreds of resumes, probably even thousands. And then from there, we filter out and get the good ones based on just going through all the resumes. Then we have a phone screen. Then we have them take a 2-hour investment test, not even on crypto, investment test on just like legacy markets, right? So derivatives, trading, all kinds of things. Then from there, we also have them basically do a 1-hour interview with our team, me, myself, Bill, Forrest, and based off of all of that, then we also actually have you present investment analysis. We'll have you go through, do research, present to our team to kind of see how you analyze projects. And then from there, then we make an offer. But right now, we don't have any open positions for that, but we do have other positions available. So we're definitely hiring. Go to tokenmetrics.com/careers. And let me show you, we're hiring for all kinds of roles. So if being an investment analyst isn't for you, we have lots of other roles. But we're looking for all stars for all roles, right? So we're looking for executive assistant, biz dev, a lawyer, general counsel, customer support specialist, ML engineer, director of ML, smart contract developers, big data engineer, front-end developers, full stack, IT admin, senior QA automation engineer, product manager, UI UX designer, bookkeeper, CFO, even corporate therapist. For those of you, if you've seen the show Billions, we're actually looking for a Wendy Rhodes. For those, if you watch the show, all right, it's basically a psychiatrist who's there to basically make sure everybody is operating at their peak levels, right? They're basically kind of like a performance coach, but they're therapists, so they have training in clinical psychiatry, I believe. HR director, blockchain software engineer. This is basically doing code reviews. Oh, actually, so we do have this available. Okay, so investment analyst role. Okay, so this is available. Marketing associate, PR specialist, illustrator, video editor, staff writer, right? So we're hiring, and we definitely could not do this without you. So highly recommend you go and apply. All the engineering roles are US only, and we're looking for people actually in New York City, because that's going to be our base for our development team and ML team, because that's where most of our team is now that things are opening up. And then most of our media team is going to be here in Austin, Texas. And then most of the other roles are pretty flexible, I believe. But yeah, I mean, we're hiring. So now, if you don't hear back from us, please don't take it personal. We cannot hire everybody, but we still appreciate the support. Um, can we stay in our current city for the other positions, or do we need to live in Austin? Honestly, I think right now we're leaning towards people in Austin or New York because it's just easier to do things a lot closer to each other. Thoughts on GRT? Graph is in our weekly and daily indices, so our indices do like that a lot. Technology is solid. I scored an 85 on the code review score a while back. Does Alchemist interest come? Does Alchemix interest income go on taxes as normal income? I would talk to a CPA for any tax advice. But I mean, so basically when you deposit your collateral, the yield is used to pay off your debt. So I would just ask your CPA how that is taxed in whatever region you're in. Okay, let's see here. What does your company do exactly? Yeah, so if you're new here, just go to tokenmetrics.com. Let me pull this up. So we're a cryptocurrency investment research company. That's basically the high level spiel, right? But we basically help you become smarter investors in crypto using both data analytics, machine learning, plus also a team of humans, myself, Bill, Forrest, and others, right? And our three main features or benefits. One, we have our AI-based indices that can be, we have indices for different exchanges, right? For all exchanges, Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, for people who want to passively invest in crypto without having to go through all that. We go through and we build model portfolios using different exchanges. So you can say, hey, give me an exchange just for Coinbase, right? So let me actually pull this up here. So let's say you only trade on Coinbase and you want to rebalance your portfolio on Coinbase every single month, right? So actually let's do investor monthly Coinbase. So you go through here and using our ratings and everything, it will build a portfolio just looking at coins on Coinbase, right? So in this case, it gives you the allocations. So it likes Graph, Balancer, Polygon, Stellar, Maker, Civic, Ren, Orchid, Uma, Scale. Right? So for those who want to diversify their portfolio without having to do all the research, we help you with that, right? That's one element. Then the other one, Visual Trends Indicator, spot tops and bottoms for crypto. And we have this for over 6,000 assets. So best case and example is, let's actually go to Bitcoin. So we try to help you avoid getting wrecked in crypto. Obviously, we're not perfect, but the goal is to be better than average, be better than the market. So for example, our customers who are following the Bitcoin Visual Trends Indicator, if they followed it, they would have gotten out at 50K. Right, as Bitcoin dropped to 32K, right? So looking at this, it basically tells you using our tech and AI when it turns bearish and bullish, right? So, for example, this indicator is meant to help you capture the large rallies, right? So from here, it was bullish on Bitcoin from October 8th at about 11,000. All the way until about 52K. So basically a 5x return on your money if you just follow this indicator. Then there was lots of sideways action here. So there was a false positive here where it got out, bought back in. But why this is different from other indicators, it's designed to self-correct very quickly, right? So it realized, hey, you know what? Not so fast, right? So then it got out. It got out at 50K. Then Bitcoin went to 35K, right? So now basically you just wait until this turns bullish for a signal to re-enter the market, right? So times like this indicator comes in handy. So this is the low frequency indicator or trading strategy, meaning that this does a lot less trades than the high frequency does more trades. However, it will get more false positives, right? But it's for people who want to get out of the market quickly if there's any chance of it going down, right? So they cater to two different kinds of people, right? For those who don't mind trading a lot, use the high frequency strategy. For those who don't mind trading, for those who don't want to trade too much, use the low frequency. For me, I opt for the low frequency. But if there's a huge crash, low frequency would capture it a lot later than the high frequency, right? So the high frequency, this also got out at about 49,000, right? But right now, this has been very volatile and choppy, right? So it's kind of been tough to use. Let's actually zoom out to 12 months. And the cool thing is we have this for over 6,000 assets, depending on what plan you're on. I mean, so if there's ever a bear market, this would basically save you, right? Your max drawdown would be low. You can also just go to our pricing page, which has a breakdown of the different plans we have. So the visual trends indicator for the hodler plan, which is $30 a month, paid annually, right? On the annual plan, you basically save money. It's basically $360 a year. You're getting the visual trends indicator for the top 100 market cap. Then you're also getting the quant grade, the ratings, right? So if you just go to our ratings page, think of this as like Morningstar for crypto. So you can come here, and it tells you right now the market is not doing too good, so that's why the quant grade is low on pretty much every asset in here, right? But typically, when things are about to rally, the quant grade would be very, very high, right? But right now everything's crashing, so that's why it's telling you maybe not a good time to enter the market right now, right? So it's kind of like a sentiment, but all this is based on machine learning. So we're taking tools that are typically done by quant funds and making them accessible to retail traders and investors. So that's that. We also have price predictions based on machine learning. So now that's only available for the investor plan and up. So let me pick a coin. Let's just use Bitcoin. Back to Bitcoin. Right, so this should not be used just by itself. This is basically giving you guidance in terms of where it thinks the price action is going. This is looking purely at price, nothing else. It's not doing TA. It's looking just purely at historical pricing, and it's making a 30-day machine learning based price prediction. Now it's not always perfect, but I use this more as an idea of where the trend is going, right? So for example, with Bitcoin has been doing a lot better for several months, basically almost a full quarter than where our price prediction model was, right? So basically we were in a frothy market. Then eventually it came back down to reality, then actually dropped lower than the price prediction, right? And right now it's predicting it's going to go to about 32K and go sideways, right? So if it goes sideways, that would be good. If it keeps on tanking, that would not be ideal, right? So I just use this as a guide to say maybe support is somewhere around 32K, and if it goes lower, it's not too good, right? So each indicator should be used together to figure out the confluence of where the trend is going, right? So I would use this for the price predictions. I would use the visual trends indicator. If both of them are bearish and the quant rate is bearish, so basically if all three are bearish, that's not a good time to be in Bitcoin, right? So those are the rankings. Then we also have basically 24/7 TV network. We're uploading videos every single day. This is just for our customers. So if you enjoy content like this, just go to tv.tokenmetrics.com and check out all that content. Right? But anyway, just go through all that and you have all that information, right? We have Bill's market update every single day, Monday through Friday, weekday. I have a show called Moon Mission, right? So if you enjoy the deep dive into different projects like Alchemix, Chia Network, Integral, Liquidity, we have interviews. We have one with Audius, founder, with Bill, with BitBoy. Bill has a second show that's kind of more of a late night fun show. That's 100x. We have Crypto Roundup, which is our news show. So all that just for our customers. Then in the Pro plan, we also have a weekly webinar for 2 hours, kind of like this, but more of an intimate setting. We have about 100 people or more going through everything, market update, TA, AMA, and all that. Okay, so good question. Surf says, I'm basically a psychologist. I got clients that don't pay me though. Okay, well, we're hiring. Okay, let's see here. I'm from Canada. I need a job offer so I can move out of here. So actually, speaking of that, we just hired an immigration firm and we're able to actually sponsor visas. That's something we want to plan doing. But it's mainly for the engineering team. Okay, let's move on to the next question here. Okay, and the IG stream just died. Oh man, that sucks. And I cannot even save it. That's. Oh well. Okay, you think this is the best time for beginners? I mean, if you're a beginner, I mean, doing a crash sounds scary, but if you're thinking long term and you have the right research around you, whether us or anybody else, and you're in it for the long haul, you can get. Best time to invest is always when everybody else is selling. All right, so yes, but it's also very tough if you're a beginner because you might not be used to buying when there's blood in the streets. All right, so it's not the easiest money, but you'll make the most money, if that makes sense, right? So it's not Dogecoin memes, but if you buy the dip in solid projects that are trading on exchanges or that will launch soon, you will make the real money, right? Like the Heliums, the Polygons, they launched in a bear market. It will come back stronger than ever. Yeah, I mean, crypto is the future of money, the future of open finance. Excuse me. I would love to work for your company if you ever expand to Nevada. Yeah, I mean, no plans at the moment. We'll definitely keep that in mind. Just watch our job board. What code is running the ML backend aggregation and all that? Python, Golang? Python. So we use Python, TensorFlow. Everything is done in-house. Python and TensorFlow. Somebody says, just buy at the bottom using tokenomics. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for sharing this invaluable knowledge. Thank you, appreciate that. You asked Forrest and Bill already, but do you personally think the bull run is over? No, I don't think it's over, but I mean, nobody really knows, honestly. If anything, all we can do is be cautious. Right now, looking at the visual trends indicator, Bitcoin is bearish. So until that turns bullish, it's not looking good. However, if you took profits on the way up, you can use those profits to buy the dip, right? To buy projects with solid fundamentals, solid technology that will be around in the next 5 to 10 years that are undervalued, right? It sounds simple because honestly it is, but it's hard to pull the trigger. That's why it seems hard. If you had $1,000 budget, where would you start? Honestly, I would start with 3 or 4 coins. So the ones, actually, I was telling my little brother in college what to do with this, I would say similar amount of money. So he got Helium. He bought some on Binance US. He also bought the miner, the hotspot, so he's been mining that. Then bought some Polygon. I told him to get some Uniswap, and because he's only doing Coinbase, and recently he'll be getting some Solana, because those are projects I think will be around in 4 or 5 years, but also have upside. And Polygon has done well for him. He got a 3x return on that. I might have to apply to that bookkeeper position to get me out of public accounting. Hey, let's do it. If bear market, I'm not watching or looking at accounts for at least 2 years. Yeah, I mean, that's the way to go. That's the way to go. All right, I think that's pretty much it. We've been going for over an hour, over 100 minutes. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this live stream, please smash the like button. Yeah, Solana goes on live on Coinbase soon. Price impact, I mean, long-term price impact, it doesn't really matter, right? But if you're trying to trade it, I would just use the visual trends indicator. Anywhere where we can check what to farm. I know you're doing Chia at the moment. We typically send that info out via the newsletter, right? So the code review newsletter, we share projects, but also I would say Moon Mission, right? So anything I'm farming, I would definitely be doing a video on it for Moon Mission on Token Metrics TV. So I would just go there, right? Okay, all right, with that being said, thank you all. Hope you enjoyed this overtime. We definitely had to give you guys one during this blood in the streets, I mean, this bloodshed. But hey, we can still find value during this crash, right? Polygon, Helium Network, and we're gonna find lots of other projects, right? There's money to be made there, money to be had, right? So I hope you all find value in that. So let's actually end things with a music video, and then we'll go out. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, so let's go out with the crypto retirement music video, because I know that's one that's been very popular. Well, actually here, we'll end up with an excerpt from Token Metrics TV. How about that? Because I don't think I've done this on the live stream. All right, so here, we'll go with this one. If this loads. What's going on here, Restream? Okay, all right, so wait a minute. I have to download the video. Okay, here we go. My name is Balina, founder and CEO of Token Metrics. I was born in Kampala, Uganda, came to America when I was 8 years old. My dad brought the whole family to Penn State for his doctorate. Then we're like, you know what? We love America, don't want to leave. I love technology, love computers, right? So I would say my curiosity began at a very young age for technology, for computers. I was reading lots of magazines on PC Magazine, Forbes, all these entrepreneurs, and seeing all these people who became billionaires. Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates. And I liked computers, and I was trying to be like them. But I realized that, hey, you know what? There isn't really anybody who looks like me, who's African, who's black. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna make it a goal of mine to change that. So at IBM, I was working as a technical sales engineer for IBM Watson Analytics. I had a chance to really fall in love with AI and ML, machine learning, seeing how that was being used to help non-technical people leverage the power of AI and people in line of business, from sales, marketing, IT, finance, basically non-engineers leveraging machine learning to make their jobs easier. And I said, you know what? Can I apply this in other areas? So I actually ended up using machine learning with IBM Watson to predict my March Madness bracket, because I'm really into basketball. Didn't end up winning, but that's when the idea of applying ML to anything I loved. When I got into crypto in 2016, I said, you know what? There has to be a better way to invest in crypto. So in 2017, kind of began doing what I call token metrics, basically the money ball of investing in cryptocurrencies and having this data-driven way to invest that was transparent, open source. Anybody could go there, see my trades, track my investments in real time. People saw me take about 20 grand initially and turn that to over 5 million in less than 12 months. And it was all transparent, all open source. At the peak of January 2018, the spreadsheet was getting over 1 million unique visitors per month. That was when I knew there was really a huge problem, and the process I had created was solving it. I like to compare token metrics to Rehoboam and the show Westworld. It's basically this supercomputer, kind of like Watson in a way, but imagine this supercomputer that can take all kinds of data in the crypto space, and eventually maybe even equities and other capital markets, anywhere where there's pricing data. Take this data with all the data points we have, from the quantitative metrics to sentiment analysis to fundamental analysis to code reviews, take all that data and be able to actually interact with you in the same manner as a human. Because right now, the platform is pretty much just a website, a web application. But the vision is really taking this and creating an AI that you can interact with, whether it's through a chatbot, whether it's through talking to it like Alexa or Siri, whether it's through video, something you can interact with that can talk to you. Because I think building wealth really frees people and gives them financial freedom. For me, crypto changed my life. Crypto helped me leave a nice job, but also helped me become a millionaire through crypto in less than 1 year. To me, making money is a game. It may seem kind of crazy, but to me, I view myself as a financial athlete. I want to inspire other people from Uganda, where I'm from, that they can do it, that even they can become a billionaire or make money or just change their lives. Lots of people get scared because they think we're going to take their jobs or AI will replace humans. I mean, for me, I think AI is powerful. I think I'm not afraid of AI making humans' lives easier, because I think that's the point. That's the point of technology. Technology is going to innovate whether you like it or not. So you might as well get on board. So that's kind of my mindset, right? So if anything, I'm looking at everything in the investing space in crypto and trying to see how we can fully automate that with AI. And I think if people can really grasp that and realize this is not just people trying to make money, but people trying to innovate and build the next internet. When you have that perspective, it's massive. Being able to invest in the next internet, it's like going back to Microsoft or any big company that was there in the 1990s and being able to invest in it before a VC did. That is huge, that's massive, and I think that's life-changing. The moon is not the limit. To the moon and beyond. All right, hope you enjoyed that preview for TMTV. So definitely go check that out. And quick announcement, our team will be at BTC Miami. Yes, the Ethereum guys are going to BTC Miami conference, which is in June. So if you're there, looking forward to meeting you all. Definitely don't be shy. If you see me there at the conference, come up and say hi. We'll take pictures, whatever. Not financial advice. And I won't be doing AIBC Dubai anymore. Somebody was asking about that. No, I won't be going to that conference. I have to take care of some family stuff, so can't make it anymore, unfortunately. Are you an idiot for investing in SafeMoon? I mean, I wouldn't call you that, but I myself would not invest in SafeMoon, because if you go back when the music stopped playing, SafeMoon dropped 58% in one day, the most out of anything, right? And the question is SafeMoon a project you will hold 5 years down the road? If the answer is no, then there you go. Let's see here. I want to share this real quick. So for those of you who are not, so it's Bitcoin Conference 2021 in Miami. Dates are June 4th to the 5th, and our team will be there. We'll have lots of our team members there. We'll be at the conference, and we're also planning to maybe have a few side events, but we'll keep you posted. but definitely will be here. Great speaker list, by the way, even though they're all Bitcoin maximalists. So we have Michael Saylor, Jack Dorsey, Nick Szabo, and a bunch of other peoples, right? But basically, it's a Bitcoin maximalist conference. But hey, it's Miami, warm weather, crypto people. Why not, right? So we shall be there, and lots of fun shall be had. Okay, all right. So with that being said, let's wrap things up with one last music video to go out. What music video do you guys want to go out with? Is the question, I guess. We got Moon Lambo, Crypto Retirement, Crypto Slowdown. Which one are you feeling the most? I'm not sure if people are in the mood for Moon Lambo with this market crash, right? So Crypto Slowdown, Crypto Retirement. I think maybe Crypto Retirement, that seems to be the most liked one because it's very inspiring. Okay, Timothy is saying Moon Lambo. Randy says any music. I win a bull market. Lambo, Moon Lambo. Okay. Crypto Retirement. Okay, let's see if we can get Moon Lambo here. Okay, Moon Lambo is a popular choice. So, actually, give me one sec. Actually, if I can even find it, I'm gonna have to search my computer real quick. Okay, here we go. I found it.
We just landed on the moon in the Lambo. We feel good, don't it? Alright. We just landed on the moon in the Lambo. Taking pictures with the zoom and the angle. We'll be coming back to you with the samples. Our predictions coming soon with a halo. We just landed on the moon in the Lambo. Taking pictures with the zoom and the angle. We'll be coming back to you with the samples. Our predictions coming soon with a halo. We just landed on the moon in the Lambo. Taking pictures with the zoom and the angle. We'll be coming back to you with the samples. Our predictions coming soon with a halo. Yeah, the moon and the angels. Made man began, hustle to greatness. Elon's on the phone, he got a wallet, a spaceship, but diaries for free. That's if you want to attain it. Spreadsheet can't leak if it ain't coming with payments now. I give the blueprint to Bill, making the moon a plan. I went from being a lunatic to a lunar land. You day to day it, you make it no matter who the man. My chart is shooting in, tell me if it's cool to land. ICOs, my coins points mushroom like Marios. I might take it to Mars, my portfolio could bring my whole entourage like I'm Arigo. Because moon in the Lambo, ain't a hater who presume where we can't go. Lambos pulling up in twos like it's tango. Up in the clouds with my crew like I'm Lando. Yeah, just landed on the moon in the Lambo. Taking pictures with the zoom and the angle. We'll be coming back to you with the samples. Our predictions coming soon with a halo. The moon and the angels. Made man who died, read the game plan. They can't stand. We flying where they can't land. Lifestyle so good I gotta write down. Trying down. Don't make me pull my drive out. Made man who died, read the game plan. They can't stand. We flying where they can't land. Lifestyle I never gotta lie about. Trying out, don't make me pull my drive out. Yeah, I wasn't always a celebrity. Had to do right till I left you a legacy. Blood, sweat, and tears on this trail like a...
All right, I will just stop there. Not sure why it's lagging. I guess Restream isn't really good with music videos. But anyway, thank you everybody so much. We'll see you next time. The moon is not the limit. To the moon and beyond. Hey, yes, there's blood in the streets, everything is crashing, but don't forget, we can make money in times like this. We just got to find great, valuable projects that have 10x potential or more that will be around in 5 years. Polygon did it, Helium Network did it, so let's keep on finding the next 100x and 1000x returns. No meme coins, no pump no hype, real value projects. We'll see you next time. Thank you.